Hey everyone, this is your stimulus update for Wednesday, June 24th. This stimulus update is for those of you that still haven't received your first stimulus payment of $1,200, and also for those of you that are wondering about the second stimulus payment and checks. And for those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits, I'm going to talk specifically to you about the first stimulus payment as well. And in this video, I'm going to be answering a bunch of questions that I've received from my comment section in previous videos. Also, I wanted to let you know that I have a new Facebook page specifically for my channel, Justin Baker Life. So go ahead and follow me on Facebook, and you can ask questions over there as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit the like button so that YouTube will share this video with others. I continue to get questions from people that haven't received their first stimulus payment if they're actually going to even get one or not. The IRS is continuing to send out stimulus payments to those of you that still haven't received it, but there are still millions that haven't received it, and they are being sent out each week, usually for direct deposit on Wednesdays. So today, a bunch of people will be receiving another round of stimulus checks, and paper checks and EIP debit cards continue to go out each week as well. If you haven't received your first stimulus payment, continue checking the Get My Payment tool, or you can call the IRS on the stimulus hotline. So let's jump into some of the comments I've received on previous videos. And let's start off with some of the good news. First off, I got a couple comments from Howard, and he said, "Hi Justin, I will let you know when I get my EIP, being it is scheduled to be deposited the 24th. Expat." And then this morning I got a comment from Howard that said, "Got it, as IRS said, yay. Thank you for your updates, Howard." Now, Howard is an expat, and a couple weeks ago he used the non-filers tool to enter his information so that the IRS would be able to find him. Now he just received his payment today. So congratulations, Howard. I'm so glad you finally got your payment. If you are an expat or somebody else that is not required to file taxes, I do suggest that you use the non-filers tool, even if you receive SSI, SSDI, Social Security retirement, survivors, or VA benefits. The IRS has said you don't have to fill out the non-filers tool, but I still suggest that you do so if you haven't received your payment still. Let's continue with some more comments. I got a comment from Willing Webb, and it says, "On SSDI, finally got a date, which is June 24th. We shall see." Thank you for that update, Willing. And I hope this morning that you got your payment. Let us know if you did. But congratulations on getting your payment date, and hopefully you have your payment now. I got another comment from Dorothy Valentine, and it says, "I just wanted to thank you for your help. I finally got a hold of someone at the IRS, gave them my information, and got my check just the other day." Thank you for the update, Dorothy. And congratulations, I'm so happy you finally got your first stimulus payment of $1,200. Got another comment from Vera Klein. Vera says, "Good afternoon. When is the second stimulus check coming?" Vera, thank you for your comment. Well, the second stimulus check at this point is still just a proposal or proposals. And there are various proposals out there that have been submitted and are in various stages of being accepted. Right now, the furthest along is the HEROES Act, which is a $1,200 payment that was passed by the House back in May. However, the Senate has said that bill is not going to pass as it stands. The HEROES Act included $1,200 for individuals and $1,200 for those that are even claimed as a dependent on someone else's taxes, no matter what their age was. So it was more inclusive than the first stimulus payment of $1,200. Well, the Senate has said that they are not even going to be deliberating on the second stimulus payments and checks or the next stimulus package until July. And they're on recess from July 3rd until July 17th. Because they're on recess and because they said they're not going to start deliberating on the next stimulus package until July, the earliest that we will hear anything from the Senate is most likely the 20th of July. So sometime after the 20th of July, we'll hear more from the Senate on the next stimulus package and proposal, which could include a stimulus check for individuals. There has been a lot more positive information coming out from both President Trump and from some of his administration. And the House of Representatives has pretty much always been on board with another round of stimulus checks. The Senate needs to get on board, and if they can get on board, then there will be another round of stimulus checks coming to each individual. But as far as the timeline goes, like I was saying, most likely we won't hear anything from the Senate until later in July. I have another comment, and it's from Carrie Beck, and it says, "Still haven't received my first stimulus check yet, and I'm on SSI and have a Direct Express card." Thank you for your comment, Carrie. Unfortunately, there are still millions of people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security retirement and survivors, and VA benefits recipients that were told by the IRS that they didn't need to do anything to receive their stimulus payment. Well, they're not doing anything, and they're still waiting for their stimulus checks. Unfortunately, the Social Security Administration and the VA have both taken forever to get the information over to the IRS, and because of that, a lot of the payments for people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits have been delayed, and people are still waiting for them. If you're on one of those and you're not required to file taxes, I will continue to encourage you to fill out the non-filers tool. Even though you aren't required to, I still think you should. The non-filers tool will update your information with the IRS and let them know who you are and where to send your stimulus payment. Once they have your information in the non-filers tool, it usually does take a couple weeks before you will get a payment date on the Get My Payment tool. So if you haven't received your first stimulus payment, continue checking the Get My Payment tool. And one other note is if you use the non-filers tool and you have a Direct Express card, you will not receive your stimulus payment on your Direct Express card. You will either receive it on a bank account if you enter bank account information on the non-filers tool, or you will receive it in a paper check or EIP debit card if you do not enter bank account information on the non-filers tool. But if you use the non-filers tool, you will not get your payment on a Direct Express card. I have another comment, and it's from Twyla Benedict, and she says, "I'm on SSI and wanting to know why I've not received the first stimulus check, and also will I be eligible for the second stimulus check?" Thank you for your comment, Twyla. So, as I was saying before, the IRS is taking their time getting stimulus checks out, and especially to those of you on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and VA benefits. They said that you don't have to do anything, but once again, it is taking them forever to get these checks out. But do know that you are not alone. There are millions of people that still haven't received their stimulus checks, and they are coming each week. Usually direct deposits come on Wednesdays, but paper checks and EIP debit cards could come at any day of the week. So continue checking the Get My Payment tool, and if you haven't filled out the non-filers tool, I would suggest you fill it out. And as far as whether you would be eligible for the second stimulus check or not, my guess is you would be if the second stimulus check becomes a reality. President Trump did just say that another stimulus check is coming when he was asked that just a few days ago. So, as far as whether you will be eligible, if you're on SSI or SSDI or Social Security or VA benefits, most likely you're going to be eligible, as most of the stimulus proposals for another stimulus check to individuals have included at least as many people as the first stimulus check of $1,200. And a lot of them have included those that were claimed as dependents on someone else's taxes as well. That's a big change, and if it were to happen, that would include a lot more people that were kind of left out of that first $1,200 stimulus payment. So thank you once again for that comment. So the next comment is one that I get asked a lot, and this question comes from Manny, and he says, "Received a letter from President saying that I know you got the check, but got nothing." So thank you for the comment, Manny. There are a lot of people that have received either the notice in the mail from President Trump saying they should have received their stimulus payment, or a payment date on the Get My Payment tool that has now since passed. If you received that notification that you should have received your stimulus, or received a date in the past on the Get My Payment tool, and you still haven't received your stimulus payment, the first $1,200 stimulus payment, you need to contact the IRS and initiate a trace. You need to do that in one of two ways. First, you can call the IRS at the stimulus hotline of 1-800-919-3865, or you can fill out a form and mail it to the IRS. It's IRS Form 3911. Personally, I would call the IRS to initiate a payment trace rather than filling out a form, because filling out and mailing a form to the IRS is going to take forever for them to respond. And I realize calling the IRS is terrible and it has been a pain and frustrating and everything else. However, I know it's going to be faster to call the IRS than it will be to mail in a form asking for a payment trace. If you call the IRS, they should be able to give you information about where your stimulus payment was sent, whether it was mailed, or whether it was sent to a direct deposit account. If it was sent to an account that you don't own or an old account that has been closed, then the IRS will receive that money back from the bank when it's rejected, and they will issue you a paper check or EIP debit card. In addition, they can update the Get My Payment tool to ask for more information. So check the Get My Payment tool to see if the Get My Payment tool is asking for more information. But if the IRS thinks that you've already received your stimulus payment and says that you should have already received it, and you haven't, initiate a trace with the IRS by calling them at the stimulus hotline. Thank you once again, Manny, for that comment and that question. That's something that I get asked all the time. So that's going to be it for my stimulus update for today. Once again, if you have more questions or comments, go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. And be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can be up to date on all the latest stimulus news for this first stimulus and the upcoming second stimulus packages and proposals. Thank you once again for watching, and I will talk to you again soon.